Good afternoon, just Patrick here, coming back to you live from Complete Health Eastbourne. I've just been in and out of the clinic today, trying to get things sorted with our machines again in the office and just doing some little bits. But I thought I would talk about the average age or the ages of different clients that we might see for chiropractic patients in the clinic. Now, I think as a general rule, the population kind of stigmatizes that you would only go and see a chiropractor when you're older. And my experience of this now is that this is completely not true, that we see people all different ages. However, I would say that the average age of a client now is starting to become someone in their 30s and 40s. Now, there's a very distinct reason why I believe that this might be an issue, and it comes down to our lifestyle factors. So if we think about the most common things that people would typically walk into a chiropractic office for, it's going to be neck pain, back pain, headaches, etc. And what we're actually starting to see is that the prevalence of disease and the prevalence of health implications is not going down, it's going up within society. And that includes not only lower back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, headaches, but actually stuff like diabetes, cancer, etc. as well. So what we know is that there's something going on in society that's actually making us more vulnerable to having injuries. So on average, I would probably say that most of my clients are in their 30s. However, I'm starting to see people as young as 14, 15, 16 with symptoms, and I actually see patients as young as 2 weeks old, especially when we have babies that cannot latch and they cannot breastfeed and they're cry babies and they thanks Haley, and they struggle from a really early age. So there isn't really an average age, but some of the things that I see that are triggering these earlier stages into the clinic is our lifestyle. So the main ones being, what I'm currently holding in my hand right now is the mobile phone. And probably one of the most common things that I see with teenagers now is something called text neck, which is where people spend hours and hours and hours on their mobile phone looking down at screens, and therefore they develop issues in the lower part of the neck. Now, what I see with that is not only do we see problems with the lower part of the neck, but the head starts to travel forward. As the head starts to travel forward, what starts to actually happen is our weight-bearing joints will start to change. Our center of mass starts to shift towards our toes, and all of a sudden we can actually start to inhibit our lower or our hip muscles and end up over-engaging our lower back muscles, and again we can start to create soreness there. But also, as our weight starts to shift too far forward, we can actually start to damage the discs in our neck and our lower back as well. So funny enough, I have actually seen degeneration in people's necks as young as I think about 21 visible on x-rays. 21 visible on x-rays. I've seen degeneration in people's spines. So it shows us that this isn't necessarily an age thing, but actually more of a lifestyle thing. Now, the other thing that's changed with our lifestyles is our diet and our levels of sedentariness. So more people are becoming more and more sedentary. We're spending more time sitting at desks, and as a result, we're starting to see many more mechanical issues, many more neurological issues, many more disuse issues, many more inflammatory issues, many more etc. So there is no real average age. Personally, I try to see people as young as possible, because the younger I see them, the more likely we're going to get the interventions into place in order to actually prevent longer term issues coming on. So rather than waiting until something is fully blown, unlike with other professions, I try to get in and actually see things as early as possible. So this is one of the reasons why with certain patients, I'll have the whole family coming in. So not only are mum and dad coming in, but their kids are coming in as well. And we're actually making sure that by the way, I still check all of their posture and everything exactly the same as I would do with an adult, because if they start to change their mechanical loads in that very early vulnerable age in their life, and they actually adapt their skeleton, then it becomes really difficult to adapt it back. And actually, we did have a case this year of a young lad who was diagnosed with an x-ray to show a scoliosis, and his scoliosis had actually disappeared after about 3 months. So if you've got any questions about some of the things, whether you're the right age, whether chiropractic fits for you, whether it's suitable, whether you're young, you're old, we just basically have to adapt it to fit you. But what I am actually seeing is that there isn't really the older clientele that probably people think that we have, but actually it's a spectrum. We get people of all ages. Guys, enjoy the sun. I just made the most of the last half hour that I've basically spent out here just having my lunch. Thought I'd just jump on and share some knowledge with you again today, and hopefully I'll see some of you in the clinic very, very soon. Don't burn. It's very hot.